They say, don't they, whoever they are, the Finns come in threes, and they weren't wrong, were they? We lost our third semi-final on the trot this season, 2-1 against Sevilla in Europa League semi-finals. The same scoreline, ironically enough, when they knocked us out of the Champions League a couple of years ago. As Mourinho once said, that is football heritage. On to the goals. The first one via a penalty kick. When is it never? Bruno Fernandes steps up. It's a pop shot into the top corner. No goalkeeper is ever getting there, even if they've got, you know, four more arms. And then we conceded the goal. It was a carbon copy of the goal we conceded late on against the dirty Scouse vermin bastards from the sewers, the rats, with Splinter and the Turtles. There's a gaping gap. It goes across the face of goal. Brandon Williams shits himself, and the guy makes him his bitch by just flicking his foot into the bottom corner, easy as you like. He stands like a statue and he shits himself. He's daydreaming. He's got his head in the clouds, ruffling his hair so it doesn't get messed up. By an average, and he'll never be good enough for this club. And again, the second goal, the same thing applies. Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka both cost over 100 million, by the way. And Brandon Williams cost a pittance. You know, he runs around like a crazed loon, like a constipated squirrel. He's the spawn of the devil. He's not what we need. If we want to challenge for the top trophies, and trophies per se, we need to replace him. We need two covered in quality fullbacks who get goals, crosses and assists. That's what the modern day fullback does. Gary Neville did that back in the day. In the early 90s, late 90s, early noughties. You know? And he was fantastic, him and Beckham, a telepathic understanding. You know? Brandon Williams, he doesn't cut the mustard. I'm not a fan, I never have been and I never will be. You know, and it was evident today how poor he is. I think he's a gobshite. I want him out of my club. He should never play for this club again, but he will. Because he's got something on holiday, I suppose, but that was just poor for him. He's just garbage. Just get out of my fucking club, you shitbag. And where was Bruno Fernandes tonight, Top Reds? Where was he tonight? I thought he was conducting the orchestra with a baton in his hand. Just to plan your agony. Marouane Fellaini scores all those goals in the Europa League. We go and win it. Bruno Fernandes scores goals in the Europa League. We go out the semi-final stage. Levels. That is football heritage, Top Reds. And he's being compared, and hold fire here. This is true. It's not a late April Fool's joke. He's been compared to Kevin De Bruyne. Have you been at the Magic Mushrooms recently? He is not fit to lace his boots. Kevin De Bruyne does it in Real Madrid's backyard with a crowd, by the way. He is covered in quality. He was brilliant throughout the season. He deserves to win Premier League Player of the Year because he is superb. I would swap him for Bruno every single minute of every single day without a moment's hesitation. Because De Bruyne is fantastic. And Bruno Fernandes, he reminds me of Mkhitaryan. Remember when he had a good run in the side, and then the next season he shits himself by not making a tackle against the dirty vermin at Scunfield. And he was kicked to the curb, forgetting what he did for this club. And I think Bruno will go the same way, minus obviously the trophies. But you've got to hold fire over praising these players. He's not good enough for Manchester United. I didn't want him in the first place. He loses the ball too much. And needlessly, you don't need to do that. So I don't get it with this guy, and I think those who criticise Bruno Fernandes, they're within their rights to do that. Who are you to tell people who they can criticise and who can't? I think you'll find it's a democracy. Yeah, we're not in bloody North Korea here. We're in bloody Britain. You know what I mean? I mean, opinions are like arseholes, aren't they? Everyone's got one. You know what I mean? But Bruno, I'm not a fan of his. I never will be a fan of his. That's as clear as day. I'll never change my mind on that. Now for the Commander-in-Chief, Ole Gunnar Knobhead, the spawn of the devil. He was tactically outwitted, outfought tonight. He's a novice. Without VAR bailing him out, he is the Norwegian Chris Hutchins. VAR has saved his job. And it doesn't matter what all these sympathisers say on camera, when the cameras stop rolling, they know full well, they know he's not good enough. They know his bacon's been saved so many times. Matic saved his job. And he dropped Matic and playing Fred, who's hardly played since lockdown. David De Gea. Romero didn't put a foot wrong. So Ollie again did the same in the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Martial was dropped, Pogba was dropped needlessly because he wanted to get the Glazers money. And I said, didn't I, finishing third is the worst thing that could have happened to this club. It's all gone to the Glazers' coffers. All is a spawn of the devil. All the things that comes out of his gob is mostly made up. He talks absolute drivel that a journalist would be proud of. He's never going to be successful as our manager. And I'll say that every single minute of every single day. Because the proof's in the pudding. It's there for all to see. Lo and behold. We're not going to be successful under him. And the sooner you realise that, the better. Because you're kidding yourself. That's what you're doing. It's as if you'd had the magic mushrooms. You don't know whether you're coming or going. You know what I mean? And if Ashley Young made that mistake that Brandon Williams did, Torres would be like a dog with a bone. They would milk it until their heart's content. That's what they'd be doing. They'd be joking down the fucking pub. That's what Brandon Williams, he's a pub player. You know what I mean? And people are blaming Rashford. Are you having a laugh? Rashford, people forget, don't they? What he did under Louis van Gaal. You know, he's playing too much football. And where was Greenwood tonight, by the way? What did he do in the match? Again, another player who was not good enough. You know? And Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, why did we buy them? I mean, Small is better than Maguire. I said that before, and you cannot prove me wrong. You can't. Because that's what it is. You know, Maguire is not going to win anything with us, and yeah. At times, it did look like the Leverkusen game, if you remember, away from home. If you young, you're not going to know that. We had so many shots on target. Okay, made great saves. I think Placente was off the line. You know, the guy with the hair. You know, and Solskjaer, ironically enough, had a chance to a win in his Clyde too, as he once said. Not this time for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he's found out tonight. Technically inept. And yeah, but people will still believe he's the right man for the job. But you never convince me, because it's set in stone for me that we won't be successful under this manager. And you can't say anything other than that, because it's the truth. So, yeah, we regroup, but again, we are what we are. We used to laugh at other clubs. We've become what we used to laugh at other clubs at being. And that is sad, because we're Man United. Players come and go, managers come and go. The fans will always be there. The high expectations needs to be through the roof. And if people think we're going to get Jadon Sancho, you're kidding yourself, because he cost 110 million. We won't pay that. He's staying at Dortmund because he's happy. They're mocking us on social bloody media for crying out loud. They know he's staying, and they're rubbing it into you, and you're making yourself look stupid every single time you talk about him on Twitter, you make videos about it, he ain't coming. And the sooner you realise that, the better. Because for me, Greenwood's better than him, Rashford's better than him, Martial's better than him. So yeah, that's all I've got to say.